All right. So people who are at Santa Fe, I'm sorry this is hard for you to read. I try to do autofocus and it's just not going well. Maybe if I. All right. So I want to show you that at Santa Fe, they're giving them this type of exam. I'm not going to print it out for you, okay, because we don't want you teaching the questions, but I want you to be aware that they have way more vocabulary to deal with than we initially thought. So for instance, this question says the members of a craft club set a goal to make a certain number of birdhouses in June. After the first week, they checked in with each other to see how many of the goal each had completed. So people complete different fractions. And it says who reached the greatest fraction of the goal. I assume that the goal is to do 1, but it doesn't tell me. Okay. Who reached the least fraction of the goal, and to which 2 members completed the same fraction. So that's how they're secretly asking them for the greatest and the least values. Okay. Here it says somebody jumped a fraction feet in jumping contest. Yolanda jumped this many feet with a fraction. How much farther did Jason jump than Yolanda? Well, if they want to know which one went farther, okay, that's like a subtraction operation. So they're not saying, hey, subtract them. They're using a word problem to indicate that. And they are mixed values. Here, there's a recipe calling for different amounts of nuts. And it says how many nuts are used in all. Okay, well, in all would mean to add them up. We have the area of a rectangle with a length of a certain amount in a foot. So they have to know that the area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay, so I just want to make you aware that this is where we need to help the students get to for success at their school site. Okay, we need to do more of these word problems with the students. So after they can master the basic computations, we need you to add in these types of questions. Okay. There's also some number line action. Don't worry, decimals are next, so we'll cover this then. But I just wanted you to be aware of that. So what I found and I already put online, okay, are these worksheets. So this one is adding unlike fractions, so the denominators are different. But it has a recipe for banana pudding. How much do they need in all? Okay. Here's these. What fraction of the pack of beads did she use all together? So these words are going to mean to add, and the students need to underline them or highlight them and write the word add or addition underneath them. Okay, and then the answers will be found on Canvas. I'm not going to print out answer keys because we have a limited number of papers that we can use, and so you'll look online for that if you need them. This one has different types of fractions. So it's still adding unlike. So if they need more practice, okay, you've got more practice here. And again, the answers are online. Adding fractions with whole numbers. So this one is a farmer had 16 sacks of corn, to which he adds 7/9 of a sack. So how many sacks does he have now? Well, he doesn't have 17 because he didn't add a whole sack. Okay, so he has 16 and 7/9, or 151/9. So you can go either way, but if you're not sure your students are ready for this, I would be careful, okay, because the fractions are a little bit larger than the numerators are. Then we found division, which is just division straight up, but then here we have some terms, okay, because they get mixed up about which part comes first. Again, there are answer keys. And then we found some more fraction pieces with dividing fraction whole numbers because they do have some of this on their worksheet, and this is what we're focusing on. Okay, we have multiplying fraction models that aren't using our rectangles, they're using other designs. Okay, this is a multiplication with word problems. Okay, the fractions are unlike denominators. And then again, the answer keys can be found on Canvas. So I'm going to be printing these out for you all, okay? Whichever ones you feel like your students will be ready to start with, you'll start with those, okay? So in reality, it should be like the adding and subtracting ones first because we haven't done multiplication or division, but we are going to print these out, okay? We also have the ordering fractions. This just has the values, and they need to put them in order either of increasing or decreasing. So you'll need to explain what those terms mean. Okay. And then here we also have it with pictures. So if they prefer to do one with pictures, although we might need to print it out in color because this didn't copy very well. All right, so those will be things we'll be adding to your packets for your students to use so that we can meet their needs for the Santa Fe assessments. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.